What's up, YouTube? Back again here for part 2 of the video that I started recently of ranking, in my personal opinion, from worst to best, the 20 Kiss studio albums. Part 1 was up yesterday, and it was of numbers 20 through 11 on my list. And now this will be the top 10. So we're starting to get into the really good stuff here, at least from my personal opinion. This isn't what I think. This isn't even necessarily the order I think the albums are superior in, per se. This is just how I prefer them and how my personal opinion of liking them. This is how it ends up. But this list has changed a lot over the last few years, and it's changed, and I guarantee it will continue to change. But right now, this is probably the order I would have it in for sure. But like I said, it's interchangeable because I like so many Kiss albums. So go ahead and get into it here. Number 10 on my list of my top 20 personal ranking of the Kiss albums is Unmasked. Now, this is an album that's not very positively viewed by most fans because it's very poppy. And this was really low on my list just a few years ago. But as I've listened to this album more, I absolutely love this album. I've really fallen very positively for this album. Even though, if you just forget that it's Kiss, it's a really good album. So many good songs on here. Easy As It Seems, Is That You, Naked City is one of my favorite all-time Kiss songs. Shandy, She's So European, Talk to Me, Tomorrow. There's 3 A songs on here. I mean, this is a very good album. If you just forget about the hard rock Kiss, this is a really good album. And I think it definitely is slept on by a lot of Kiss fans. So number 10 on my list is Unmasked. It could easily be number 9. But number 9 right now is Revenge. This is probably the best, I would say, the best non-makeup Kiss album, even though I do think it's overrated compared to what some fans think. I mean, some fans think it could be like their best album. I'm nowhere near that. I mean, and Unmasked and Revenge are interchangeable, but for right now, I think I would give the slight edge to Revenge just because it's, heavier and it's more prototypical Kiss. But this was a big album for their career, first album post Eric Carr and everything. But Unholy, Take It Off, Spit. I actually like Spit. I don't know why. Gotta Give Rock and Roll to You, of course. Domino. Heart of Chrome is really good. Every Time I Look at You is a great underrated ballad. I Just Want a really good song, one of my favorite non-makeup Kiss songs. So Revenge is a very solid album. It's not a great album, but it is a very solid, very good album in my opinion. But it is overrated at the same time, just based on what some fans think of it. But it would be my number 9 on the list, interchangeable with Unmasked at number 10. So coming at number 8, we have another album that's not so positively viewed by Kiss fans, that being Psycho Circus. Their 1998 release. This is one that was technically featured Ace and Peter for the first time in 20 years, but they really weren't on it besides Into the Void. But I think that's the biggest reason why some people don't like this album, is just because they don't like it because Ace and Peter really weren't playing on it in the studio very much. But if you just look past that, I think this is a really good album. It's got a lot of really good songs on it. The title track, Psycho Circus, is one of my favorites ever. Within's awesome. I Pledge Allegiance to the State of Rock and Roll, Into the Void, We Are One, Raise Your Glasses, Dreamin', Journey of a Thousand Years. A lot of really good and great songs on this album. So I love Psycho Circus. I've always loved it. I've never understood the hate for it. I think it's, like I said, mainly just because Ace and Peter didn't play on hardly any of it in the studio besides Into the Void. But if you look past that, this album's killer in my opinion. So Psycho Circus is my number 8 favorite Kiss album, and I actually think it's much better than Revenge, as unpopular as that might be to some. Coming at number 7, we have the 1975 classic Dressed to Kill. Now, a lot of people would have this album higher, and I would, it's kind of hard to argue it, but I mean, because it is a great album, absolutely a great album. But there's a couple songs that aren't quite up to par for my personal opinion, but there's still so many great songs on here. This was a great album. I mean, songs like Room Service, Getaway, Rock Bottom is one of my favorite, probably top 10 Kiss songs ever. Come On and Love Me, classic. Anything for My Baby, Love Her All I Can, of course, the Rock and Roll Night studio version. I mean, there are some awesome songs on here. Just a great album, and one of the best sounding Kiss albums as far as the production. And Peter Criss, this is probably his best performance of any Kiss album he was ever on. So I love Dressed to Kill. It's a great album, and it's number 7 on my list. So coming at number 6, we have 1976's classic Rock and Roll Over. And this is another album a lot of people would say could be higher, and it's hard to argue with it because this is a great album. But much like Dressed to Kill, I think there's a couple songs on here that are a little lesser for my personal opinion. But other than that, this is a great classic album. I mean, some of my favorite Kiss songs are on here. Hard Luck Woman's phenomenal. Making Love, Take Me, I Want You, Calling Dr. Love, Ladies Room, Mr. Speed. I mean, just a great, great album. I love Rock and Roll Over. It's one of my favorite albums, definitely of all time, and it's a Kiss classic that you got to hear. So number 6 on the list is Rock and Roll Over. Number 5, we have Love Gun from 1977. This is another great album. I absolutely love Love Gun. I mean, the big songs on it go without saying, but the deeper tracks are the ones that really get slept on. Love Gun is just a great album. Of course, the title track, Love Gun, is one of the 5 biggest Kiss songs, 5 best Kiss songs, probably. Got Love for Sale's underrated. Tomorrow and Tonight, I like. Christine 16, Almost Human, underrated as all get out. Plastercaster, Shock Me. I Stole Your Love is one of my absolute probably 10 or 5 favorite Kiss songs ever. It's just a great album, and it was the first time Ace Frehley got a lead vocal on a Kiss album, and that's not why it's great, but it's that helps. But this is just a phenomenal album in my opinion. So Love Gun's absolutely classic, and it definitely deserves a high spot on this list. So number 5, Love Gun. Coming at number 4, we have Kiss's marquee studio album, Destroyer. I love this album. I mean, everybody loves it. It's the only reason that it's 4 on my list is because it's overplayed, and so many of the songs are overplayed, but those songs deserve to be overplayed because they're classic songs, and they're some of the biggest Kiss songs of all time. Detroit Rock City, enough said. King of the Nighttime World, God of Thunder, Flaming You, Sweet Pain, Shout Out Loud, Beth, Do You Love Me? I mean, my gosh, so many great songs on here. It's just it's hard to top. It's hard to have an album that's more consistent than this one. And Destroyer is an absolute classic. It is iconic beyond words. So number 4 on my list is Destroyer. Coming in number 3, we have Kiss's return to glory, so to speak, the return to their roots, Creature of the Night, released in 1982. After some questionable releases in the previous few years with disco and pop kind of stuff, this is Kiss getting back to their hard rock roots. And this album is absolutely phenomenal. This album could easily be higher, even though it's number 3. It could easily be number 2 because I think that highly of it. Creatures of the Night's one of my favorites of all time. Saint and Sinner's a great song. Keep Me Coming, Rock and Roll Hell, I love. Danger's phenomenal. I Love It Loud, the classic. I Still Love You. War Machine is absolutely killer. This is a great album. It's got some big songs on it, the I Love It Louds and the War Machines and the Creature of the Nights of the world, but the deeper tracks like Keep Me Coming, Rock and Roll Hell, Danger, Saint and Sinner, songs like that just really bring this album over the top for me. So Creature of the Nights is phenomenal. It's my number 3 favorite. Coming at number 2, we have the debut Kiss album, Kiss, self-titled. This is a classic beyond words. I feel like I've said it a bunch of times, but this is about the most perfect way you could start for your career based on just the amount of sheer awesome songs on here. Classics that they still play to this day. You can't even really put it into words how great this album is. You have Strutter, you have Nothing to Lose, you have Firehouse, Cold Gin, 100,000 Years, Black Diamond, Let Me Know is a really good one. This is just a phenomenal album, and it just, you can't even. It could easily be number 1. And for a while, I actually think this was my favorite Kiss album, but now it's slipped down to 2 because I've really. It's like I said, some of these are interchangeable, but I think number 1's pretty safe for my bet. But even if it's not number 1, the debut Kiss album is phenomenal. So now that's number 2. Coming in at number 1, if you know the process of elimination by now, Hotter Than Hell. Their second album release, and I think this album is absolutely incredible. The reason a lot of people don't like it as much as others is because of the production. But if you can look past the production, this album is absolutely phenomenal. Every song, Got to Choose, Parasite, Going Blind, Hotter Than Hell, Let Me Go Rock and Roll, All the Way, Watching You's my favorite, Mainline, Coming Home, Strange Ways. Absolutely killer album. And I would actually make the argument that the muddy production on here actually enhances these songs because they're so heavy and dark. This is one of the heaviest and darkest Kiss albums ever, and it's absolutely just phenomenal. So my favorite Kiss album is Hotter Than Hell. So yeah, that's my list. That is numbers 10 through 1. So many great Kiss albums, so many classic songs. It's just crazy to think about how many really great, especially underrated songs they have and not many people know about. So let me know what you think. Let me hear your opinion, your feedback. What's your top Kiss albums? Let me hear it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you when I see you. Later.